growing up on the farm or in a small town.
I spent a lot of time feeding hungover, maybe still drunk.
The first 3 to 5 years, when you get out of high school, get away from the family farm, get away from the family business.
Number
That's
10.
That's what that was?
Yeah, like 10 centimeters or whatever, or millimeters. Millimeters or centimeters? I'm freaking out.
I would guarantee 50% of the teachers in that school are carrying. Respect to all the mothers out there.
All the mothers.
Man. Okay, Cole, so what are you having?
I'm having...
Hey y'all, welcome to Meet the McBees, powered by AgAmerica Media. Today, I'm joined by my brother Cole, and we're going to be talking about life growing up on the farm, the benefits of raising a family on the farm, some of the negative aspects too, and what we think the ideal way of raising a child would be if we had our own. Which I don't, Cole does, or will. So, guys, new episodes of Meet the McBees drops every Tuesday on YouTube and every other audio podcast listening platform. Please, if you like the episodes, share it, subscribe to us, come back for more. Every Tuesday, we'll be dropping new ones. So saddle up, and let's get down and dirty with it. Hey, y'all, thanks for tuning in today. We've got an exciting podcast today, and I think it's something that I'm going to let Cole take the lead on this because this is what he has more experience in. And, hell, let's be honest, he's got a baby on the way due in December, and by the time this episode releases, Casey will have posted the gender, right? Okay, Cole, so what are you having?
I'm having a girl.
The first baby
girl of the
McBee
family
is a girl. So we have the first grandbaby for my mom and dad, and it's a little girl, which my mom has wanted her entire life.
To say that she's going to be spoiled is probably an understatement. It's bad.
It is.
It's going to be really bad.
She's going to be the most spoiled baby on the planet. My mom kept trying for a girl, and she had 4 boys.
Yeah, and on she wanted a girl every time, and she thought the last 2 were girls, me and Braden.
Sometimes.
Because it was like back then where they still were confused. Didn't she thought, wasn't I supposed to be a girl for a while? No, I wasn't. So.
Shit, I even questioned that up until you.
Nah, you didn't have to question that once I was born, trust me.
All right, so today's episode, we're going to be talking about growing up on the farm or in a small town. Gallatin is population 1,700. It's a 1A school. And Jesse and I did not grow up in Gallatin, whereas Cole actually moved up here sophomore year?
Yeah, sophomore year.
Sophomore year.
And a sophomore year going into junior year.
And so we wanted to talk about really the positives that come with growing up on the farm or in a small town in general. And where we come from is Independence, Missouri. So I had 550 in my graduating class. Jesse had the same.
How many did you have? 492 down there.
How many did you have up here?
It was 60, and we were the biggest class goes through Gallatin.
Yeah, so Gallatin usually ranges 45 to 55.
Yeah, it was like 45, 50, somewhere in there.
So it's a big difference, wouldn't you say?
It was huge. It was a huge difference. A total life change. It's just way different at a small town. The high school, I really liked going to a small town high school just because of the feeling of knowing everybody. You go to the football games on Friday night and the whole town is there. You go into Casey's the next day, everybody's telling you good game, or everybody's talking to you, and it's just
what happens if you threw an interception.
Everybody's making fun of you, and so I mean, the good and the bad comes with it. But no, I loved it. I'm glad that I did get to experience both, which was good. I got to go to a big school. We were 5A.
5A.
Yeah, which is there's only 6A in Missouri, so it was a pretty big school, and that was just a lot. I definitely liked a small town better. It fit me way better.
And your plan, and Casey's plan, y'all are building a house up here. Mm-hmm. You're going to be raising your daughter in Gallatin. She's going to be going through the Gallatin School District. Thoughts on that?
1,000%. I know. Shoot, I went to high school with 6 of the teachers up there now. I know so many of the people. They're still the same teachers I was there. I know they're getting taught the right things. I'm not going to get into politics or anything, but in 2024, things that are being taught in big schools and big city schools are not what they're supposed to be learning. I want my kid to go to school and learn the right things. And I also want to be able to take my kid to school and know that she's going to be safe. And
yeah, that's a good point.
A small town, I mean, the school, I can see it from my front door. I can see it from our office. I can see it from our main pasture.
I would guarantee 50% of the teachers in that school are carrying. Wouldn't you say?
I mean, I hope.
I guarantee it, honestly.
I would say
knowing who all teaches
I would say
every
one of them know how to operate a gun.
Yeah. I would say they all have something hidden in their closet or in their carrying underneath their pants.
Yeah, I can tell you this. And I'm not saying there's not good teachers all over. Obviously, there's great teachers all over. I just trust the school systems of small schools way better after going to one, and just with the amount of change and our world nowadays.
Well, it is scary sending your kid to school, to a big school. I mean, you look at really some of the issues we've had with school shootings over the last few years. There is something to be said about knowing pretty much every single person in the building.
Yeah.
And even for the kids, for the most part, everyone knows everyone, and there are no serious outcasts, I would say, in a small school. I mean, out of the 60 people in your class, I bet all of them had friends.
Oh, every single one of them. And every single one of them, like, there was obviously the 5 of us, the 10 of us maybe that moved in throughout, like, the school, but a lot of them literally grew up together since kindergarten. Like, they knew each other, like, they were, like, some of them, like, so close, like brother and sister, because they've been so close for so long. And
I think in a big school, there's so many numbers of students, there's so many kids to keep your eyes on that some of them fall through the cracks. And unfortunately, if I'm looking at it from a big school perspective, it would be about impossible to make sure you're able to keep tabs on every single student if you have 500 plus in a class. And so you have some that start to drift away, start to lose friends, and become some of the problem kids, or some of the potential school shooter kids in those bigger schools, in my opinion. I could be completely wrong on that, but just seeing it from a Gallatin perspective, it's so close in such a small knit community that everyone knows everyone, and really everyone's a part of a friendship group somehow.
For sure, 100%. And honestly, like, smaller classes for me helped me way more. Getting more, like, I struggled in math a little bit, throughout my high school career and college. But the best math teacher I had, Miss Sparks, she was at Gallatin. She was literally the best teacher I ever had, but she helped me so much, and I think it's because she had the time to help me. She didn't have...
Yeah, they're not teaching 30-plus students in a class.
Yeah, we had 20, but she only had, one class of pre-calc or one class of, whatever it was. It wasn't...
Pre-calc.
I was.
In high school?
College algebra, then pre-calc, right? Isn't that how it goes?
Did I even take pre-calc in high school?
I passed it, too. I did.
What did you have to take in college that you just absolutely did not go
Calc
well?
1.
Calc 1.
4 times a week, 8 a.m. I had to drop that. That was rough. That was rough.
Sorry, bud. Somehow they slipped you into that one. That was not the
class.
Yeah,
I knew it wasn't going to work 4 times a week, 8 a.m. My first semester of college.
All right, so we talked about the benefits of going to a small town school, but what about raising a family on a farm? What are the benefits? Like there are so many good, morally strong character traits and a strong foundation that are built whenever you grow up on a farm. What would you say those are?
I would say you don't even know, like, as a kid, when you're helping your dad or your mom, or you're on the farm feeding cows or you don't know you're working, like, you're having fun, but it's teaching you, like, work ethic as you're doing it. Like, whenever you're 8 years old doing that, like, you're doing chores or you're going out, like, it doesn't seem like work because you like doing it with your family. Like, you're growing up, and, like, as you grow up, you just learn to work. You learn just to wake up, like, you learn to, you have chores, you have things, you have at 8 years old, you might have to go feed your water cow or the horses every day, and it's just something that gets you in a routine. Like what you said, getting a routine is like the number one thing in your life, like waking up in the morning, same time, doing things. And I think that's a lot like growing up on a farm, which we didn't get that until I moved up here. We only got on the weekends, and I think whenever we came up in the weekends, like, what did we do every weekend? We worked with our dad, and we loved it though.
Yeah,
like, that's what we wanted to do.
We enjoyed it. Saturdays and Sundays, that was not a day off.
Now I work with my dad every weekend, but back then, like, we loved it.
Yeah, we I mean, whenever you grow up in the city, Saturdays and Sundays are spent now playing video games or doing whatever it is that you're doing. When you're on a farm, your ass is getting to work from the time you could walk. Like, the reason why my dad had so many kids is so he could put us to work. I fully and wholeheartedly believe that.
I believe that too.
Like, without a doubt, free labor for him. And I also think that there's a delayed gratification, which is one of the strongest character traits I think a person can have, is the ability to do the work without receiving the result for an extended period of time. So we talk about having to wake up every single day, feed and water the animals, take care of the animals. You have to do the work before you're allowed to have the benefit, or you aren't allowed to go hang out with your friends. You aren't allowed to go play games in the evenings until you finish your chores on the farm. And I think that that's something that whenever you're growing up with that being instilled, it translates into your adult life and really the entire rest of your life. Like, you just know that you have to get the work done before you're allowed to have fun. And I think that's something that growing up in the city or growing up in a big school is missed out on a lot of kids nowadays.
I agree, for sure.
And the responsibility that comes with that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a mix of delayed gratification and responsibility because, again, we've talked about it so many times. Doesn't matter how you're feeling. Doesn't matter if you're sick. Doesn't matter if you're having personal problems, financial problems, which hopefully as a child you're not having relationship problems, personal problems, or financial problems, but you never know. But you have to still take care of the animals that are on your farm before anything with yourself can be taken care of. And I think that that's something that just stays with you the rest of your life when it comes to responsibility.
For sure. And then, I think like these two next ones kind of go together, family above all and a connection to the land animals. I mean, like the connection to your family and that land whenever you work together on it and you see the hard work that your brother and your dad and your mom and you see, like, you work side by side, you see what goes into it.
It's bigger. It becomes bigger than yourself.
Yeah, because like you're working not for yourself. You're working for the whole family. You're working for your, for a lot of people, your past families that set that in place, that got that going. And it's just bigger than you whenever you're working on it.
It is. Yeah, you realize that you're not even working for yourself. You're working for your family's name and truly the farm, because that is what everyone's end goal is, to keep the farm for the next generation. And so that family component becomes strong as all get out. You're usually eating meals together every single evening. You're working together nonstop. Your family becomes your best friend. And I think that there's something very, very strong, and it's a good foundation to build from whenever that's the case. And not only your family, but also connection to the land and animals. Because you're spending every single day on that farm working with those animals and truly treating them like members of a family. And I think that that's something that is inherently good for society, is to understand, that we have a responsibility to the land and the animals that we own and take care of, to leave them in a better place than we found them, or to every single day progress in the way that the land is taken care of or the animals are taken care of.
For sure. Whenever you put in that work to the ground, you see improvements, you see things happen, you watch crops grow, you take the crops, you harvest the crops. Like whenever you do all that and you see the circle that happens, it's pretty special. And it kind of like, once you do it over and over again and you see it, you do it many years. And, one year you're working this field at midnight, the next year you're working at 6 a.m. in the morning. Like, you see the hard work that goes into it. You've done the hard work. You gave the blood, sweat, and tears. You kind of get that connection for sure. I mean, it's like anything. It's just like a football player, whenever he put it in for his team, like that's the connection you have to anything. Like, whenever you work hard for something, you're gonna
value
it.
Yeah. And you absolutely do have a value it. You value the land and the animals more than you would otherwise. And there's also, what is that saying? Idle hands are the devil's playground. Idle time is the devil's playground, right?
Like, just sitting
Meaning,
still.
if you don't have anything to do and you're just sitting there, you end up getting yourself into trouble. Yep. I promise you that can never happen on a farm, because you are so damn busy working. There is no time to even get yourself into too much trouble. Now, Cole's a little bit better at this than most when it came to getting in trouble. But for the most part, you were just out with friends or having fun riding back roads. It wasn't like serious trouble.
I was going to say, like, I did some things growing up in high school I shouldn't have, but I also did some things that, like, I feel like it's like normal high school. It's not like it's normal high school. Like growing up stuff. Like, almost like, I'm glad I got it out of my system when I did. I'm saying it's all the way in my system, but I got it most of the way out of my system when I did. So, and I'm glad I did. But
whenever you're so busy working like that, you really don't have the time or energy to get yourself into serious trouble. And so I think that's really good about the farm too. And it also comes back to the fact that you got animals to take care of the next morning. So, you better be waking your ass up early.
I spent a lot of times feeding hungover. A lot of times. Maybe still drunk.
For sure. And I think one of the big issues in society nowadays is that we're more connected than we've ever been from a technology standpoint, but we're also more isolated than any other time in history and lonelier than any other time in history, because we're not feeling a person-to-person connection. We're not there face-to-face. And let's face it, human beings are social creatures. Like, we are built to be around people. Alone time is not good permanently. And there are so many people that sit in their basement all day playing video games or talking through technology. That's not a real connection. Like, Facebook messaging someone or Instagram messaging someone, that's not a real connection. You don't truly get anything out of that. And so whenever you're on a farm, you have more of that face-to-face connections with your friends. I mean, you spent more time face-to-face with friends or family or people than we did down in the city.
For sure.
And I know it's only gotten worse now that technology is advanced, and like it is like there's so much time taken away from being in front of a TV screen, playing video games, or in front of the phone screen. And we're guilty of it as well now, having our phones here at the farm and Starlink.
We are guilty of it. But
Starlink changed the game for better or worse, but there is so much time spent face-to-face on the farm that it's actually much better for you as people.
Well, I think it proves, like, I can confidently say, which I've played video games. It's not like I don't whenever I have a free time. It's, nighttime. I'm not going to sit there and not play Madden with my brothers or NCAA. But I can confidently say growing up, I didn't play video games. Like you and I, we did not.
I still have never played video games.
You don't. Yeah, you could never sit there and play. But, like, we did not play video games growing up. We went outside. We talked to people. We hung out with people. And I think it shows because you'll meet people our age that have no social skills.
None
that
whatsoever.
Like can't talk to people. And I'm like, dude, I can hold a conversation with a stranger. I mean, I can with the wall. I could talk to that wall for a while.
I think you're so used to talking to people.
Yeah.
Shoot, I remember whenever we were younger, my dad would send us into an MFA whenever we were 11, even younger than that, maybe 9 or 10 years old. We'd be having to have conversations with full-grown adults behind the counter. And that's something that so many kids don't even know how to associate or have a conversation.
That's one thing that we got lucky with our dad. I mean, we were, and our mom growing up around, like, having to have conversations with people that, we knew were like, all right, this is a business person. I was 10 years old and we're telling ourselves, like, all right, we got, act good.
Be serious, be mature.
Yeah, and that was at 10 years old. We were learning this type of things, which is very, some people don't have those opportunities, but I think for us growing up, like every time we'd have, customers up to the farm or anytime we had customers hosting customers, we were over there every time talking to them. I mean, every one of us, where my dad had us all in there.
You definitely, grow up faster on the farm, without a doubt. The maturity levels are so much. Like, if you take a 15-year-old that's been born and raised on a family farm and grew up working on the farm, and you take a 15-year-old from the city that's done nothing but played video games, it is astounding the difference in maturity and really the difference in real-world experience that you have from the 15-year-old that grew up on a farm compared to the 15-year-old that's done nothing but play Call of Duty or Madden all day, every day.
You'll meet a 15-year-old up here that will go operate, a 45-foot Diamond Harrow with a 400 horsepower tractor and drive it everywhere and like be confident in it. And you'll meet a 15-year-old that, has never done those things. And not just saying it's just because of farming, but whenever you just have to grow up faster. You have to you just have to do things that get you out of your comfort zone faster. I mean, you have to run equipment. You have to do, it's just how you have to do it, and you have to, or you can't get the job done. And
absolutely,
it just makes you grow up,
It does.
I think when you mentally grow up, you physically grow up.
You do.
Like, I think there's got to be some type of...
There's some sort of connection with whenever you're having to mature mentally, that there's like a physical coming of age earlier.
I agree.
But in saying all of this, it is not all rainbows and sunshine growing up on the farm. We talk about the benefits of raising a family on a farm. There are definitely some negative aspects to it, most of which I would say come from... There's just fewer opportunities because there's less happening in a small town or on a farm. There are fewer opportunities to find success, meet people, network. It just comes with the territory of being in an isolated area.
100%.
Would you agree?
Yeah, I agree. Obviously, less people, less businesses, less everything. I mean, you're not around near as many people. There's definitely something that I think if you grow up here, you need to go to college. You need to get away for a few years, like see the world. I from a lot of my friends that did go to college, they are really glad they did. And, a lot of them move back. Like, they go away for 4 years, they go to college, they move back. But they, it just kind of, you need to see the little more of the world than just this. And even if that's going to Kansas City to get a job for a while or going, I think you need to see like a fast movement, fast pacing, like, it's a slower world. It's a slower world around small towns.
There was a guy that I had an internship with whenever I was freshly out of high school. I was actually in my younger days at college. He owns a bank. We still do a lot of business with him. His name's Dave Johnson out of Kansas City. And he told me when I was a senior in high school, I vividly remember this. He said, the first 3 to 5 years when you get out of high school, get away from the family farm, get away from the family business. Go work corporate or go to college outside of the family farm. And then when you finish those 3 to 5 years, come back to it if that's really where you want to be, but you need those years of experience. And like the intelligent person I am, I did not do that. And if there was one absolute regret I have about my life, it is not getting out for those 3 to 5 years just to have a different experience and understand the world from a different perspective. Like, ideally, if I was to have a kid, I don't know if that's going to happen yet. If I was to have a kid, they would grow up in a small town on a farm, and then come college, they'd get their ass away from the farm for 3 to 5 years. Like, go out of state. Go see the world.
Well, for sure if it's a boy.
Yeah, what are you going to do with your daughter?
Like SEC school, you're going now. Like,
What are you going to do with your daughter?
I don't know. I don't want her to community college, Trenton, Missouri. I went there.
You're going to commute to college. You're going to come home every single night.
Yep, you're staying here. But if you're my boy, you're SEC school, Tennessee, Texas.
Yeah, I want
somewhere.
you to go to Rocky Top. I want you to go to Tuscaloosa. Yeah.
Somewhere.
Something like that.
Down south.
So that would be the ideal way, in my opinion, to raise a child that has all of the strong moral foundations that come with being born on a family farm, but also has the ability to be an open-minded thinker. So they're not closed-minded because all they've ever known is this small town.
Yeah.
And I don't mean to say that like liberally whenever I say open-minded, but just having the ability to process information and change your mind if necessary. Because a lot of people that spend 100% of their life in a small town or on a family farm, they're so set in their ways and they're so closed-minded, they don't even take the opportunity to look that there may be a different way of doing things or a different way of thinking. Agreed?
And I think you just got to give every person needs to give themselves a fair chance to like make sure that's what, don't just give like one job. Like, oh, this
don't just assume.
Yeah, like, oh, this is what I'm going to do the rest of my life. Like, give yourself a chance to go experience stuff. Give yourself a chance to try something else and see if you like something else more. I mean, I think I got pretty lucky because I was, with the mom and dad we had different businesses. We did a lot of different things growing up. We were burying cable at 16 years old. I mean, we were doing a lot of things to do a lot different, and that's why we are indifferent. I mean, I'm full-time on the farm. Jesse, he's on the farm a lot, but he also, he got his construction management degree. He spends a lot of time in the car washes. Braden is full-time car washes. I mean, and we're trying to get him more up here and get him more involved with the farm, but you just got to let people do what they want to do. You can't force him, but I mean, you got to like your job if you're going to do it the rest of your life or it's miserable.
Yeah, and to know whether you like or dislike something, you have to have the opportunity to try both things out. That's why I talk about that 3 to 5 years after high school. Get off the family farm. Get out of your small town. Yeah. You have to do that. I'm telling you, coming from a 30-year-old who did not do that and regrets that pretty much every single day, as I'm watching TikToks of, what is that, Tennessee... the Rocky Top intro song. Oh, man, that gives me chills watching that on TikTok. And I'm like, man, I wish so bad I would have gone to Tennessee or an SEC school.
And this is coming from people who, for us not going to big college. I mean, I went to Iowa State for a little bit.
A semester.
Okay, and I came back to a smaller school.
But that was your own decision to come back,
yes, right? Me and the school agreed I should both come back.
It's a mutually agreed upon decision that Cole should not be at Iowa State the second semester.
But, yeah, so... What I was going to say from that was we both have lived we lived a pretty wild life. Like, we've done a lot for our age, and we've had a lot of fun. But the one thing we still regret, and everyone, Jesse, Steven, and I talk about this every single day, is like not going to a big SEC school down south or not going away for college or like we talk about it every day. And we've lived I would like to say, I mean,
we've experienced a lot.
We've probably done more than a lot of people. Like, we've had our fair share of fun.
Yeah. But that is one thing. And I got to give Dad credit. He pushed all of us to go away to school and to get away from home right after high school, and we didn't listen. So, Dad, you were right
on that one.
On that one. On that one specific instance. Hey, y'all. Today's episode is brought to you by AgAmerica, your go-to financial partner for all things agriculture. As the largest independent financial firm dedicated to rural America, AgAmerica is changing the game of ag, lending and leveling up financing options for farmers, ranchers, and landowners across the nation. And I'll let you in on a secret. The thing that sets this company apart from the rest is the people. They understand firsthand the unique needs of American farmers and ranchers because many of them grew up on the farm themselves. They take a farmer-focused approach to finance, prioritizing relationships over transactions to help you build a stronger financial foundation for your farm and family. So whether you're looking to buy land or secure working capital, AgAmerica has your back. Visit agamerica.com today to learn more and see how they can help you achieve long-term financial success. Because when farmers thrive, we all do.
Do you know where your meat comes from? You will now with McBee Meat Company's Build Your Own Box. A retail value of $300 worth of melt-in-your-mouth steaks, insanely delicious griller products, high-protein meat snacks, and a free gift of your choice for only $159. These meats are born, raised, processed, and shipped directly from our family farm here in North Missouri. We're one of very few brands in the entire country who can honestly say that every single step and the meat supply chain is owned and controlled by us. We're doing it all, ensuring your meats are born and raised without the use of GMOs, steroids, antibiotics, vaccines, or whatever the hell else they're putting in meat these days. This type of respect and care for animals and the delicious meats that they provide us can only be found on a family farm. And that's why we're damn proud to bring you this Build Your Own box, available now at the link below. Your purchase directly benefits our family farm and the rural community that we operate in. And so I want to take this time to personally thank you and tell you how much we appreciate any support that you may give if you decide to purchase your meat from us. We do not take it lightly. It means the world, not only to us and our animals, but also the community we live in. Now, let's get back to the podcast.
Are you ready?
I don't know. I mean, I'm excited. I'm nervous. I don't know if I'm ready. I wouldn't
Have
say.
you like done the classes? That you have to
I
do?
did that class last night.
What class?
The pregnancy or the birthing class, and then it was like post birth class.
What is birthing? Like, what do you do?
More for care. I mean, I was just learning how to support her, during it.
Like while she's having the kid?
Yeah, there's different
Don't
ways.
you just hold her hand?
I thought no, she was teaching me these ways to massage her shoulders, and yeah, I don't know.
And what is Casey? What do they teach Casey? I thought it was just push.
Like breathing exercises. We meditated a little bit last night.
Did they get like a Bosu ball? I always see big Bosu
we're
balls.
I gotta get her one, but yeah, she had to learn. She was sitting on it, and then yeah, there was quite a bit too last night. She taught us how to breastfeed.
You have to learn how to do that?
Well, I don't. It's not just like I get no idea. I thought that baby would just latch on,
Yeah.
but I guess you have to like. There's certain ways you got to hold the baby, and like it's kind of harder than it. Yeah, I didn't know that.
It's way more technical than I thought.
I mean, when a calf gets born, just finds.
I was going to say, it just
gets up,
instantly, you
finds
stick
its
your
heat.
finger out there and that calf will start sucking on it.
That's what I was thought. You just throw it up to the tit and it would start sucking, but I guess not. You got to do some different things for it.
Dang, there's a lot to this.
There's a lot to a kid, and they were teaching me how to swaddle. You ever swaddled?
What does that mean?
So it's whenever you sleep. They can't sleep in a blanket. They
Okay.
just sleep like flat on their back like this with nothing around them, just in a swaddle where they can't move.
So you like strap them down?
No, you take a blanket and you like basically tie them up like that.
So you strap them down.
But with a blanket, like you wrap them up, like it's this little blanket, and there's a certain way you fold it and wrap it around, and you.
Did you take any videos?
Mom did.
What was the picture you sent of, like, it's a circle with a bunch of different sized holes in it?
That was the yeah, that was wild. Did you see that picture?
Yeah, what is that?
It was how big the hole gets whenever the baby comes out. Yeah, the last one was whenever the baby's born. Number
That's
10.
what that was?
Yeah, about 10 centimeters or whatever, or millimeters. Is it millimeters or centimeters? Centimeters, yeah. It's big, dude. It was
What?
like that. Yeah.
I did not realize that's what that was.
I'm
To
pretty.
me, it looked like a Bob Ross painting board.
And they told me I need to be like, I got to stay calm and collective for her. I just don't think there's any way I'm going to be
You're just
passed
looking
out.
at that?
Dude, like once this starts going down, that's like, I'm honestly more nervous
Holy
about the
smokes.
birthday than I am about, like I can raise a kid. I'm a little nervous about it being a girl. That's a lot different. When I thought it was a boy, I thought it was good. But the birth is going to be, I got it. Cause they say half it's on me. I got to stay real calm to keep her calm. So I'm like,
I couldn't be in the room.
yeah,
I'd be on the
I'm
floor
nervous.
passed out.
It's going to be.
I had no
something.
idea that's what that was. Wow.
I thought it when she first got out. I thought it was like the little paint deals.
That's
You
what
put all
I
the
thought it was
colors
an
in.
easel.
No, but it said it was like the 1 centimeter. It said how big the holes would get, or yeah.
All right. Well, the more you know.
Yep.
So are you? Is your
I
plan?
will say I have complete respect for every woman that's went through birth.
Dude, that's horrible.
Like the way already
I would
seeing
be scared to death if I was a
yeah,
woman.
and like the way their body just changes. Like it's a fast. I mean, like, dude, I feel like every day I wake up, Casey's like, her stomach is like, and you like a week later it's bigger. Like it's crazy how fast they change, and they actually like are
Wow.
making a whole human being in there.
It's pretty impressive, honestly.
It's
Has
kinda
her
weird seeing-
Has her cravings like started? Like, does she crave weird stuff?
Everything now.
It's not like anything specific.
No,
it's just like
just-
everything.
Everything. But if she doesn't eat, she's mad, and she starts feeling sick when she doesn't eat.
I agree with that though.
Yeah, but like if she she has to eat at least a snack every couple hours because she like
Really?
starts feeling sick.
Wow.
Drink a lot of water too.
Yeah.
Pees nonstop. That's all she does. We have to stop like 3 times like on the way to Kansas City. It is eye opening.
I'm glad you're
It's
going
very,
through it first. I would be freaking out if it was me.
I'm freaking out. It also is just very eye opening to like. I'm glad I'm a man.
Dude.
I feel bad. I mean, I respect
Respect to
all
the
women.
mothers out there.
All the mothers.
Man.
That is.
All right. Anyways, I think that covers this episode enough. I'm still kind of mind blown over what that was. I didn't realize that when you sent the picture last night. But growing up on the farm, to me, is the best way to raise a family. And for the reasons that we just discussed, I'm excited to see your daughter grow up on the farm. We're going to put her to work.
We are.
She's going to be a little tomboy out there working on the farm.
She is. She's going to grow up the right way.
She still ain't going to be killing any of our big deer until she earns it, though.
I don't know, man. She might be the one that.
No. She can hunt after your deer. She ain't hunting after mine.
I don't know. We'll see. I think whenever she gets here, she's going to be hunting whatever deer she wants.
All right.
We'll see.
All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next week on Meet the McBees.